And we know that in Xabi Alonso's sides, the idea of fluidity and flexibility in terms of positioning and playing is absolutely key. So really, really interested to see what he does with those two players in particular.
Real Madrid hoping to go again at the Club World Cup with a new manager, with a few new players as well. This is the group Wednesday, Real Madrid and Al Hilal. That one at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. I played football in the afternoon in Miami before. It's not fun. Good luck to those lads. Real Madrid taking on Pachuca and then FC Salzburg as well. Let's welcome back our Spanish football expert, Phil Kitromilides, with a look on Real Madrid ahead of the Club World Cup.
There's massive excitement here in Spain ahead of Real Madrid's first game in the Club World Cup. Not necessarily because they want to see Real Madrid against Al Hilal, because it's the start of the Xabi Alonso era. A new manager with new ideas. There are new players as well. How is he going to be able to get those ideas across to the players in the short amount of time that he's had to work with them? I'm really intrigued to see what he does with Huijsen, how key he is for Madrid's salida de balón, bringing the ball out from the back, because we've seen how good he is with his feet. How integral is he going to be to that aspect of Real Madrid's play? How and where is Trent Alexander-Arnold going to play in this team as well? We know he's so good with the ball, and we know that in Xabi Alonso's sides, the idea of fluidity and flexibility in terms of positioning and playing is absolutely key. So really, really interested to see what he does with those two players in particular, because they're the two new faces, but he's got to work with Vinicius as well and try and figure out a way to get the best version of the Brazilian out as well. Rodrigo, so much has been spoken about him. Is he staying? Is he going? Xabi Alonso likes him, says he's going to be important. So what is he going to do with him? But yeah, I mean, the Club World Cup it's important for Real Madrid because it's a new tournament and they want to win it. They want to win every tournament that they play. That's what their legend and status as the biggest club in the world is based upon, winning tournament after tournament after tournament. So they will go for it. But perhaps long-term, more important for Real Madrid is seeing how Xabi Alonso manages to get his ideas across to the players. And we're intrigued to see that first game against Al Hilal.
Phil asking a lot of the questions we'll attempt to answer here, and I think this is a very interesting moment for Real Madrid because we've never seen this cadence before. We've never seen a postseason coaching change have to get into an official competition so quickly. The Club World Cup being a unique thing, we've never seen this before. So 3 weeks after their La Liga season ends, they go again. What do we think we'll see from Xabi Alonso's side here?
I mean, you'd have to say that they're absolute favourites to win that group. I think they have a 93%, obviously, favouritism from Opta to get out of that group. So, yeah, they're favourites to win it by a mile. I think the history they have with each team in that group as well, they've actually met them all recently. 2022, it was against Al Hilal, obviously in the Club World Cup final, that one was. Pachuca in the Intercontinental most recently, and then Salzburg this season in the group stage of the Champions League. So they are familiar with this opposition. But the question is not necessarily what they do against the opposition. I think it's more about what they do to themselves, how they line up. What does Xabi Alonso go with? I mean, is it going to be a back four? Is it going to be a three? My personal opinion is that it's very highly likely he's going to change it to a back three because of the players that he's brought into the football club, being Alexander-Arnold and being Huijsen. So I think it's going to be interesting to see, first and foremost, tactically, what formation is he going to go with? Is it the three we saw at Leverkusen? Are we going to see potentially a Grimaldo-like performance from Alexander-Arnold, or a Frimpong performance where he's basically an offensive player rather than a defensive player? Huijsen, excellent in possession of the ball, as you heard from Phil right there. Very good at coming out from the back. I think the eyeballs will be on the new players coming in through the door more than anything else. But at the end of the day, it will always come down to, in my personal opinion, the stars at that football club. Can Xabi Alonso get your Vini Juniors going? And how quickly can he get your players like Bellingham going? Get them performing to the best of their abilities and really turn us all on, because they've got the players to do that, Witty.
And let's talk about the new players. You mentioned them in that answer. Trent Alexander-Arnold coming in as a free transfer, making all the headlines by speaking in Spanish at his introductory press conference. And then Huijsen as well, coming in the center of defense. We saw him in the Spanish national side. He has that sort of different level of profile, playing in a Bournemouth team that was much more about aggression, about going at their opponents. How does he then fitting into the current group of players?
I mean, listen, Real Madrid dominate majority of their games in possession of the ball. I would expect them to do the same, obviously, in the FIFA Club World Cup. I think Huijsen, when he does play in that position, he's going to enjoy a majority of the ball, getting it into midfield as much as he possibly can and allow the team from there forward to dominate. Obviously, Trent, I think what you have to look at is not necessarily the recoveries and the defensive side of the game. It's what he does offensively. 4 goals, 7 assists in 23-24 across all competitions. That needs to double if he's at Real Madrid, because they're going to have the majority of the ball, create the majority of the opportunities. And if he's playing every single game, I think they're buying him for what he does do offensively in dead ball situations as well than anything else. So I'm really intrigued to see how both of them fit in. Again, the most important question for me is what formation is Xabi going to go with? Because, of course, he had tremendous success. And we were just talking before we came on air there. It happened pretty quickly for him at Leverkusen. They were in the relegation zone, or just one space out of that relegation zone, when he managed to get them into a European place. And that, to me, is remarkable in the Bundesliga, to have that success so quickly. To then go and have an unbeaten season in the Bundesliga is ridiculous. So he will be determined and obviously critiqued on his results. Performances will come probably second to that. But this squad is absolutely stacked, and he has all the tools to play with. Let's see how good our boy Xabi really is, because at Leverkusen he was awesome.
And that's the big question coming into this, because he managed one kind of club. He managed Bayer Leverkusen, who were sort of underdogs all the way through, and pulled off something incredible, developed young players. This is a different job. This is the nature of the work is completely different at Real Madrid. And ultimately, Ancelotti was trying to solve a problem, which is they probably have one too many attacking players. How do you think Xabi Alonso goes about solving that problem and about coaching a different kind of club? This is the very highest level we're talking about here in terms of expectations, in terms of the demanding of results. How do you feel like he approaches the work?
Well, it sounds like he's already had a big say in the transfers coming in through the door already. Maybe even had a decision on who was coming in the door before he even signed that contract. I mean, it doesn't seem like the type of character that would miss out on much. He wants to be in the know of absolutely everything. I mean, all I can really speak upon, Chris, is the fact that at Leverkusen he was across everything that happened with that football club. Decisions about players in, out, youth players. Obviously what happened with his coaching staff, people who were around him in the football club, and executives, obviously. Also, the conversation he was involved in, absolutely everything. At Real Madrid it's a bit different. You don't necessarily have those open discussions, so it's now down to getting the best out of the performances of those players who were in that 11. So if you look at the projected 11 we've gone with here, Vini Jr., Kylian Mbappe, Arda Güler, we look like is probably going to play there. Looks like Brahim Diaz is going to sign a new contract and stay for another 4 or 5 years at the football club, and probably deservedly so for what he's done. Rodrigo is probably going to be the one that misses out. But this is unreal. I mean, if you can get these players playing well, Real Madrid can win this competition. That's how good they are. But the question really is, does he have that connection with the players quickly?
Yes.
Can he get them happy? Can he get them confident? They weren't far away in the Champions League. They weren't far away in domestic competition either, but they still missed out. They didn't get a major trophy. That's going to hurt Real Madrid. It's going to hurt all of these players. Are they rested? Are they rejuvenated? Or have they still been training all the way through, preparing for this? We're about to find out.
And there is this idea as well about the history of Real Madrid having won the first ever European Cup. There is this idea that they want to do something similarly historically significant in the way that they go about this tournament, this being the first ever expanded Club World Cup. But
did they win it, Witty? Did they win it?
I think I went through the bracket before the tournament. I think I picked them to win it. So I'm going Real Madrid all the way.
City or Juventus in the next game if they finish top or second to go through.
Could be very tough. Could be very tough for them coming up in this Club World Cup.